Millennials who earn over $100,000 report that they are still living paycheck to paycheck at a rate of 60%. How are you able to make that much money and still be dependent on each paycheck that you receive? To tell you the truth, that shouldn't come as a surprise. Because of the high rate of inflation that we are currently experiencing, it is currently much simpler to spend $100,000 than it is to earn it. Even though $100,000 does not appear to be a lot of money, and it is not, the reality is that for most people, making their first $100,000 is an unattainable goal, let alone saving $100,000. If you had $100,000 in the bank, you wouldn't have to worry about being harassed by bill collectors when they came to your door. These are two entirely separate matters. But the fact of the matter is that $100,000 is not that much. It is a realistic objective that can be accomplished by the vast majority of people, provided they have some level of perseverance and dedication, as well as access to the internet. When I was a student, the concept of earning six figures seemed like an unattainable goal to me. I was content if I could just pay my bills, which were only a fraction of the federal minimum wage, but seemed like a lot of money to me at the time. I was aware that it was feasible, but I was unable to make the connection between where I was in my life at the time, being poor, and the path that would lead me to the life that I desired. Even after I started working in real estate, it seemed like I had to perform feats that were physically impossible in order to make that much money. The reality, however, is that it's a lot simpler than what the vast majority of people think it is. It is only a matter of time before you reach your goal, provided that you are committed to the endeavor and are moving in the right direction. Therefore, if you want to go from having no money to having over six figures, here are the 7 rules that you need to follow. Please give this video your approval, and in the meantime, let's move on to the first one. 1. There are decades where nothing happens, and there are weeks where decades happen. Lenin. These are some of the most insightful words I've ever come across. Since the financial crisis of 2008, nothing truly earth-shattering has occurred, but the year 2022 is on track to fundamentally transform our planet. The global economy is on the verge of collapse, the world is on the verge of starvation, the global dominance of the United States is being challenged by the invasion of Ukraine, the world is concerned that China will attack Taiwan, supply chains are being disrupted all over the world, inflation is skyrocketing, oil prices are at an all-time high, and we are not yet out of the global pandemic. There is a possibility that by the end of this year, we will be residing in an entirely new world. The fact that such enormous changes result in a transfer of wealth is the most important thing to keep in mind, and the challenge that lies ahead is to make the most of this wealth transition. Just look at how many different crypto coins are failing to meet their financial obligations. It's the perfect time to get into the cryptocurrency market, as the current storm is likely to wipe out most of your competitors. When everything is stable, it is simpler to start a business, but when everything is simpler, it is easy for everyone. Because of this, the level of competition that you face is extremely high. For this reason, crises are ideal opportunities because they create chaos, and the world can change in the blink of an eye, particularly when the status quo shifts. 2. He will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight. Sun Tzu. When you're feeling motivated, you want to accomplish everything on your to-do list. Launch a company, begin investing and trading, and cultivate professional relationships. The problem is you have a finite amount of resources to work with. You won't be successful if you don't know how to pick your battles, particularly if you are just starting out on your path toward financial stability. Be selective in the battles you engage in. Choose something in which you have some degree of self-assurance and do not allow yourself to be diverted in any way, not even by people or things that present themselves as more alluring alternatives. When trying to stay focused, it is sometimes necessary to put one's pride in check. Choosing the appropriate challenges at the right times is a necessary part of the journey. Once you start trying to be a master of all trades, you will quickly realize that you are not good at any of them. 3. I know of nothing more despicable and pathetic than a man who devotes all the hours of the waking day to the making of money for money's sake. Rockefeller. When you have sufficient funds at your disposal, the motivation that money provides is no longer as effective. If you're not making enough money, it might not seem like that right now, but as soon as you pass the point where you can live comfortably and save more than 50% of your income, your motivation will begin to wane. The pursuit of money, on the other hand, is fruitless given that there is no end to it. Therefore, the objective ought to be to create something that will be to the advantage of the people. That would give your goal more significance. It will provide you with a more compelling justification for getting out of bed in the morning. In addition to this, the greater the number of people that it will assist, the greater the number of people that will pay for it, and the more money you will make. It is a cycle that will not just help you make your first $100,000, but rather go beyond that. Therefore, instead of focusing on making 100 grand, you should concentrate on how you can add value to the situation. When the time is right, the money will arrive. 5. Don't let your preconceptions dictate your decisions. When you are a child, your parents and teachers have a significant impact on your mind development. Your friends will begin to mold your mindset as you mature into an adult. Therefore, the majority of your concepts and convictions do not necessarily reflect reality, despite the fact that they may sound logical. Even if you were brought up in a poor household and told by your parents that the only way to escape poverty is to work hard in school and climb the career ladder, this does not mean that this is actually true. Take a novel stance toward everything you're considering. Your perspective will be significantly broadened if you are able to engage in conversation with individuals who have already attained success. Steve Jobs said, "Everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you, and you can change it, you can influence it, you can build your own things that other people can use." 6. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. Peterson. As kids, our parents compare us to our peers. Look, your classmates get better grades. The person who lives next door does not sit around doing nothing or playing video games. We spend our entire childhood being constantly aware of how we compare to everyone else around us. No matter how much progress we make, there will always be someone who is superior to us when we look around. What we come to understand far too late in life is that there will never not be another person who is superior to you. Just take a look at the constantly evolving list of billionaires that Forbes publishes. Elon Musk has recently taken over the top spot on the list, which was previously held by Jeff Bezos. However, Musk has recently tweeted that Vladimir Putin is significantly wealthier than he is. However, regardless of how rich he is, Vladimir Putin is not permitted to leave Russia, raising the question of whether or not this constitutes true wealth. Although this is an extreme example, I think you understand what I'm getting at. Never judge yourself based on the standards of others. The only person you can truly evaluate yourself in relation to is the person you were the day before. Have you been to the gym yet today? Good for you. You have improved a little bit since yesterday's version of yourself. Did you read an interesting book? You have gained some new insights since yesterday. That is the only way to grow. And that includes financially as well, because if you compare yourself to who you were the day before, you won't lose the motivation to keep moving forward, and you'll be able to see how far you've come. 7. The greatest danger you face is your mind growing soft and your eye getting dull, green. If there is only one piece of information that you are going to remember from watching this video, let it be this one. The path to 100,000 seems challenging, but anyone who puts in enough work and is dedicated enough can accomplish it. The real risk is that you won't stop moving forward once you accomplished your goal or made enough money to cover all of your expenses. Your self-discipline will gradually deteriorate, you will develop a less strong work ethic, and you will gradually spend more money. Your income will remain the same while your expenses will continue to rise, bringing you to the point where you will once more be forced to live paycheck to paycheck. Therefore, the difficulty lies in maintaining your self-discipline even after you have accomplished your financial objectives. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe so you don't miss a future video. Thanks for watching.